Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Just as promised, I wanted to talk about the inequality in society and how this thing is getting exacerbated with the economy falling apart, with the central banks destroying the economy. And they're basically saying that this is what they are doing. They are destroying the economy, killing the man. Well, they are killing the man and the woman out there. So this is what they are killing. So yes, and this even bring more and more inequality in society. Like when there's more and more money printing, let's say this is not just what's happening in the central bank or Federal Reserve, but this is also what's happening in the banks. Right? The banks print most of the money. 90% of the money is coming from the banks. Right? So the money supply is basically from the bank. So when inequality was to be, well, it would see a bunch of people own a house, right? And another category of people can never own a house, right? Like young people, they can't own a house, right? They can't afford it, right? It's too expensive. So and the bank will not even give it to them because they need so much credit score, right? You see, there's a credit. You need a credit score, right? In order for you to get a mortgage from the bank, you have a social credit system that's discriminating, people, choosing winners and losers. So this is why we end up in this situation where even people can't pay rent, right? They are working full time, but they can't even pay for the place they are living in, right? So because they need to eat, they need food, they need they need to buy clothes, right? So they can't afford those things when they have to pay rent, right? So it become unaffordable, unlivable. Most cities are gonna become, unlivable, right? So because, too many people cannot afford to live there. So they're just gonna move to different places, different countries, right? So, yeah. So all this housing bubble, all this housing, like hyperinflation, those things need to calm down. So, so the market can have an equilibrium, right? So when there's an equilibrium, right, of the amount of money that's printed, right, from the banks, right? When somebody go to the bank, they take $1 million mortgage to buy a home, right? This money was not, produced, there was nobody really worked to produce that money. It's just digit on a computer. The bank just create that poof out of thin air, right? Just in seconds. Say, hey, this is new money, new $1 million. Go buy this home, and then they give the person, right, the old owner, the $1 million, and then who is going to the new owner, get debt, right, to pay. So now you're gonna own this bank, right? This bank never worked for anything, right? They just create money, right? That's all they do, right? And even if they fail, right? So you have the government backing them. Say, hey, I'm insuring you, right, to make sure the economy works. The economy is going fine, right? So I'll bail you out. Right? I will just insure you up to $100,000. Right? Everybody in there who have money in that bank account, in that bank. So this is what's going on out there. It's not real. Like most people think, the economy is real. Nothing is real. Okay, the money is not real. The money is fake. Everything is fake. Right? Like the teachers are fake. The schools are fake. Universities are fake. Everything is fake. The news, all is fake. Right? So you're gonna understand this before anything else, right? So there's no truth in the base of society. Remember, money is what is the bottom base of society, foundation of society. If money is fake, then everything else should be fake. That's all. That's fundamental thinking, right? First principle thinking. Right? Everything else is fake. That's it. So you can't really build anything honest on that system. It's a broken system. So, anyways, I just it's so fascinating, right? Like now they are creating zombies. They are creating, people, making people more and more vulnerable. And they are creating more dependent to the system, and more people going out of job, right? Economy is down, people are losing their job left and right? So even if you have a job right now, you're still insecure, because if your neighbor loses his job, you're gonna be in trouble next time, because you don't know what's gonna happen. Right? Your neighbor loses his job, you don't know who's gonna lose their job next. Right? So because maybe your neighbor is a customer of your boss. Right? Now your neighbor can't afford your boss services because your neighbor is out of work. So your job is vulnerable as well. Right? So nobody is immune to that. Nobody is immune to the bad economy. Right? Everybody get affected. Right? This person in Africa, right, expecting remittance money, right? They're gonna get affected. Right? So how many people are gonna die from that? How many people is surviving medication costs, all expenses, is because of economy going well, right? Well, if those people lose their job, how many people won't be able to afford their medication, right? They're gonna be dead, right? So it's not a joke, right? It's just like when those guys stand there with a costume and say, oh yeah, they need to crash demand, they need to crash the economy. It's like, that's evil. Right? I mean, why did you do that in the first place? This is why we need something like Bitcoin, right? Rules without rulers. Now, nobody should be able to decide our future, right? So we give all this responsibility for too long to those imbeciles, right? So we have to take that back. I don't know if it's in my lifetime or in my kid's lifetime, or maybe like next generation. I don't care, but we need to take the money out of the hands of human beings, right? It can't be leading us, telling us when we can leave, when we can, go hungry, when we should, they say, they're deciding who can be rich, right? They are saying, oh, those people are working, making too much money. It's like, what the hell? Since when the society was like that, right? All people are working with too much money, but themselves, they're never gonna say how much money they are making, right? They are making millions a year, right? So it's fine to them, right? They're not making too much money. They're good. They're okay, right? But if you're making like over 50,000, over 100,000, no, you're rich. You're making too much money. It's like, what's too much money? Like, most of those people are living paycheck to paycheck, right? They can't afford food. Like, what is too much money, right? Rent is out of control. They can't even find a place to rent, and they are making too much money. The economy is booming. What? You see? So these are the lies, that are being propagated, right? And it's crazy, right? It's out of touch. So this is what I really wanted to touch on for today. And yeah, so just be careful out there and protect yourself. So the only thing I can bring to you guys some Bitcoin education, and then you do your own research, and then you make your own decision, right? So if I know a lot of people are gonna lose their home now you're gonna think twice when you get involved in that economy again, right? So they make you believe that you could go to school, get a degree, get a good job, and get a mortgage, buy a house. Now you have a house. Now you lose everything. They get you out of job, right? So they bankrupt you because you can no longer pay for that house, right? Because you lose your job. Well, so they take the house away from you, right? You thought you had a house the whole time, right? Now you're out of house, right? Your kid, future, depend on that, right? Same thing happened in 2008, right? But people seems not to be learning. They don't learn about those things, right? But for you guys listening, you understand what's going on. So you are the smart people out there. So anyways, yes, we need a system like Bitcoin where nobody can rules, right? Where it's just rules without rulers. So this is what get me into Bitcoin. Anything else is just nonsense to me. Like, anything else is just, it's fine, it's good to have, it's nice to have. But the real thing, the most important thing is rules without rulers. That's the most important thing for me. Like everything else, all those the other features, they are nice to have. Right? They will come, yes. But the number one thing is nobody can change, nobody can fuck with the money. That's the number one thing. Anyways, guys, this getting too long. I'll see you again in the next Toxic Talk. This was Pike Over.